Right, well, at the moment, I'm concerned about your attitude and your erratic behaviour towards me and the school that I'm running.
Running? Well, that's open for debate. Let's talk about that, shall we?
Let's not, because I won't have my decisions challenged by you or anyone else. I mean, if you feel you can't accept them, Emma, if that's Emma...
Joyner is with us, look, and we're going to talk about the TV drama Ackley Bridge. Well, we were just taking a look at a bit of it, Jo. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good, thanks. Yeah, I'm really good.
Excellent. And we were thinking it's completely and utterly believable. It's just a brilliant show. What was it like being in it?
It's been really great to work on it. It is believable, and I'm really pleased and relieved of that because, as you know, quite a lot of us that work in TV are quite middle-aged now, you know, and the people in charge and some of the writers. And I remember going to the first screening of it last year with the kids around us and the essays and stuff and saying to them, is it all right, or are we just a load of old people who think we know what's going on? And they were like, no, it is. It's real. It's real.
Jo, can I just say something? It doesn't matter how old you are. It matters what your attitude is and how cool you are.
It's just a number, isn't it?
It's just a number, and you're immensely cool yourself, as you know. Award-winning actress Joyner is best known for her role as Tanya Branning in EastEnders, as well as starring in the comedy series Try Again and BBC dramas Ordinary Lies and The Interceptor. From 8 p.m. tonight, you can see the Channel 4 show that we're talking about. Jo returns as Mandy in the second series of the school drama Ackley Bridge. It's set in a fictional Yorkshire mill town. Ackley Bridge follows the merge of two schools in a segregated British and Pakistani community due to budget cuts. Series 1 explored the turbulence of the merge, looking at the challenges of prejudice and cultural issues in the school environment. This one that I've seen is very much everybody's working together. It looks like a brilliant community, if you like, but obviously there's always issues coming up in education, isn't there?
There is, yeah. When we arrive back at this series, Mandy's still struggling, as she does throughout every series, really, to please everybody, to keep the figures afloat, to keep the money coming in and keep the applications coming into year 7. And so we're struggling in our love life and our school life with Mandy at the beginning of this series.
Now, is she romantically involved with somebody?
She is. She's married to the PE teacher, Steve Bell.
Right.
Although at the end of, played by Paul Nichols, and at the end of last series, they separated because Mandy had an affair and he'd had an affair previously as well, and also a child with that woman. So, I mean, they're on great terms, really.
Yeah, she'd kind of had an affair to get back at him.
She'd had a little revenge affair, I think, yeah. So this year we get the return, actually, I can reveal in the second series, we've got Steve's mistress, or the woman that he did have an affair and a child with, is coming into the series, and that's played by the fabulous Kimberly Walsh. So,
Okay. But the bit we saw, they were working together, so they have a pretty good professional relationship, don't they?
They have to work together, and they are missing each other when we come back in this series. So, you know, they're missing each other, although Kimberly is still around. Kimberly Walsh playing Claire. And
our friend Adil Ray's in it. He seems like he's not overly emotional, but he's kind of rolling his eyes quite a lot at stuff, isn't he?
Adil plays our main school sponsor, Siddy, and that's the guy I had my affair with last year. But we're now just working very professionally together.
We should mention the kids as well, the young people who are acting.
They're great.
They are brilliant.
They are fantastic. We've got a brilliant young cast. Amy Lee Hickman and Poppy Lee Fryer, who play our main girlfriends. They're professional actors, and they've been acting since they were kids. Well, they are kids now, but they were even younger kids. So they really know what they're doing. And then we've also got a wider cast. Some of them are street cast, you know. Some of them have never done it before until last year. Yeah, and they've got really great energy. We've got a lad called Zane who actually plays Zane. He's really good fun. My little boy watched the screening the other day and he really loves him. Every time Zane pipes up, he smiles.
It's a great series because, as I say, it's very contemporary and everybody's good. And on top of that, I think, Jo, I mean, I've got notes here which I very rarely use, obviously. But, you know, it says the series will explore some of the harder-hitting issues that affect such communities up and down Britain, such as students navigating traditional backgrounds with modern identity, pupils who are vulnerable, not just from gangs, but the dangers that lurk at home, and the very real consequences of budget cuts and failing students threatening the future of the school. And that's right now, isn't it?
It is right now. And that's the lovely thing about Ackley Bridge is that what they were finding up north was that communities sort of end up gravitating towards each other. So if you all lived in this certain part of town, then your kids would all go to that secondary school. So if that part of town was predominantly Asian, that secondary school became predominantly Asian, and vice versa. And so the idea of this academy was that you would bring everybody together by making it 50% Asian and white, so that equally it would then have a knock-on effect of joining the community together. And this show really does look at the differences in the cultures, but also the similarities, and that's the important bit, is actually because that's where we all find a common ground and everyone gets on a bit better.
What you working on at the moment after this?
So I finished this week on Friday, and then on on the Monday, I start Porters, which is a comedy on Dave with Rutger Hauer and a really lovely...
Rutger Hauer, the guy from the old Guinness ads.
Wow, from
the
Blade Runner?
guy. Yeah, from the Rutger Hauer.
Wow.
I know. It's about 3 porters. I'm not a porter, so I'm popping in and out of that as a very harassed doctor.
What kind of... a porter in a hospital.
Porters in a hospital. So
Rutger Hauer's a porter?
Yeah. Can you believe it?
You met him? And
I've
everything?
met him, a couple of times last year.
Does
I
he-
didn't have
does
a lot
he
of work with
speak?
him. He does. I mean, he's very enigmatic.
Yes, he is. I know. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you know, he
Yeah.
has got real charisma. He's got a real sparkle in his eye.
He's been in here once, and you ask him a question, he goes, well,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he's just naturally cool. You know, he makes me feel like I'm like 100 miles an hour.
You can see Joe Joyner in the second series of Ackley Bridge. Starts tonight, Channel 4, 8 p.m. Joe, good to see you. Thank you very much. Joe Joyner,
Thanks for having
everybody.
me, guys.
Yeah.